It is a sunny Saturday morning. It is October 7th in the year 2017. So this is going to be a brief podcast. If there was one way that I would try to narrow down what this channel is about, it would be about soul survival, also known as spiritual growth or growing the soul's voltage. And this is very much in contrast to my observations of those human beings, some of which may have souls, some of which may have leased out their souls. Everything else on this channel, off the grid, geopolitical, relationship, commentary, current event, updates, all that still relates to the soul's journey, what we're doing here on the earth, the types of news that I choose to cover, the types of things that I bring to this YouTube channel, the kinds of ideas, the arguments that I make against the modern human, the programming that the modern human holds onto, the argument I make against some of these programs, the worship of materialism. That doesn't mean that all money, all material is negative. It's energy. And so it's really about, though, how we look at what is important in this lifetime. What is important? What is important to the ego? Rather, instead, what is more important than that? What is important to the soul? What is important to the soul's growth, the soul's voltage, the soul's evolution beyond this matrix, also known to many as a soul prison, believe it or not. There's also a lot of belief that a lot of humans that are alive today are actually here again from another time and place, another cataclysm. And so this is also very, very interesting. This is a time in which I'm tuning out of distractions, whether it be distractions out in the street, traffic, certain articles, YouTube videos, distractions with regards to those things. I see a lot of people are distracted from their soul's purpose. And as a result, people suffer. There are various ailments that people suffer from when they're not on their path. I look at some people that I believe are putting out disinformation, and there's that, do they know they're putting out disinformation? And to a certain degree, some suspect. Their heart doesn't seem to be fully in it when they're putting out their disinformation, and it weighs on their health. In pursuit of the materialism of this world and the affection of other people, support, large scale support. Whereas I appreciate the support that I have, but it really, and things have been a lot better in this part of the year than they have been throughout the rest of the year. And I feel like, some of these videos and podcasts are making a difference. And I certainly don't think that I need to reach the entire world. And I think that it's mindful to attract an audience even at a certain level of awareness as well. The same phrase regarding quality, not quantity, with regards to audience size and things of that nature. That is something that I'm putting more attention on. You see, because in this matrix of digits and numbers, oh, it's about, size mattering, numbers mattering, the amount of money someone has mattering, someone being, appeasing a mass audience by their appearance alone, things of that nature, by the things that they say. These are things that certain people, they go in certain directions. And once people go in a certain direction and they're molded almost permanently, their outlook on why they do what they do, and that's very important. That's very important when it comes to success. But when it comes to YouTube, there's YouTube success, but there's also larger scale success than just numbers. There's the soul being able to evolve along the way and to grow and to help others grow. Then there's the opposite of that. Instead of growing, some people are developing some very bizarre behavioral tendencies. And there does need to be some time given to human psychology as just a regular conversation. Of course, there are audience members that have found themselves attracted to my content for different reasons, and I acknowledge that. Not everybody is on the same wavelength, and I accept you for you, whoever you are. As for myself, periodically got to remind you this is about a war for our souls. I suspect this is some sort of a harvest season. I was going to say, though, even for those that may not understand these concepts, we do need to discuss human psychology, how people have responded to the manufactured stress situations, their stress hormones being overstressed, and it really causing dysfunction within the whole of society. Whether someone sees it as a spiritual sickness or whether someone else interprets it as adrenal fatigue. And then we talk about also the psychological illnesses, PTSD, that comes about from too much exposure to news and information that tells them on a daily basis that the end could be near. Oh, and I'm sure most of you do know that the end is near. That is a top trending term. So some people are capitalizing on that. I saw one person very ecstatic, almost clapping his hands, that the end is near is now a top searched term. But obviously, something is in the air and things are constantly changing. But there's a dark side to being aware of things changing, and the perception that the end is near seems to be one of them. Of course, things are always ending and beginning. The end is near as a catchphrase has direct correlation to the 7 years of tribulation. And I see the events manufactured now as events that are manufactured to lead people into a end is near worldview. When people are living there, what's the point of even trying to stay alive, for example, or to grow spiritually? If someone, for example, thinks they're already saved and they don't have to do the footwork any longer to be a better person while we're alive here in the flesh. What type of a incarnation is that to wind up waiting until we crack the code and we start counting down 7 years? All right, here we go, 7 year tribulation. And it's not that I'm opposed to all biblical ideas, but I am an independent thinker, and there's a reason why I don't follow any particular religion. I try to think for myself. But with regards to even how I view the 2020s, one that can bring us a staged, managed geopolitical situation, I don't see that per se as biblical. Because who's to say that this is the end? This is the end. The end, my friend, the end. Who's to say that this is the end? But they obviously use, sounds like a racetrack on the street outside this place that I live. And so there's a fair amount of contrast. You know, I have that race car energy. Vroom, 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 because there's no cops up here. So there are people that are literally going up and down like the side road right next to my shed, like it is literally NASCAR. But in return, I experience greater freedom from the oppression of living in the modern urban environment. So it is a trade off. It is a trade off that I embrace. I find it interesting sometimes just the oddities of a lot of that at the moment in which I'm doing videos, almost as if it has that potential to distract. But it very much can be a part of the show. To save my own body, mind, and spirit, I left the urban terrain for a more rural environment. And as I watch this harvest of souls, I see a more dangerous society. In society becoming more dangerous, some people seem to be checking out. I see the threats. I hear about the fantasies that some people on the extreme end of the alt right, their genocidal fantasies for the future of America and wondering where this is going to go. But ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people that are being caught up in the identity race politics, they don't realize their soul is being entrapped to the devil of this world. It's going to take some time to explain that, but I'm going to be back with more information and ideas regarding this topic, but also regarding, the various psychological ailments that we're seeing in human society, and how healing from those ailments for a lot of people is as simple as deprogramming from mass mind control. It's much bigger than mass media mind control, but mass ways of thinking, the vox populi.